Hello, everybody. So I'm going to start off a little different this morning since we're already in that love vibration. Let's just stop and take a breath and let it out. And then take a breath in and just feel the love that's in this room. I mean, it started out a little rough today, but love is here right now, and that's all we ever need. So it is the month of Valentine's, and so, this is the last Sunday before March, so that's why we had to throw in a little bit more love. Because, we could all use as much love as we can, right? Amen. Mm-hmm. So here's what Bobby says about love. He's 7. He says, love is what's in the room with you at Christmas if you stop opening presents and listen. Oh, and I forgot to say, hi, Facebook people. How's it going? You listen. And Emerson, Emerson is one of Ernest's buddies, and he did a lot from his teaching. And I think she's already on it. Wow. Anyway, this is Emerson, and actually he's one of my favorite guys too. Love is omnipresent as nature, as motive and reward. Love is our highest word and the synonym of God. Now, isn't it? We've already been talking about that, haven't we? And so all of you guys that were driving on I-4, of course, Eric's coming the wrong way if you're going west. There's a billboard, and it says, if you want to love, learn to forgive. I thought that was pretty good. And here's what Eckhart Tolle, the modern-day mystic, says. Love and joy are inseparable from our natural state and our interconnectedness with being. And then last but not least, there's Nikki. Nikki's 6. And here's what Nikki says. If you want to learn to love better, you should start with a friend you hate. So today, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that love is the highest vibration that we have, and that we are inseparable from it. And the more we can do to raise our vibration, the more we can stay in love. So I'm going to start with the letter L. Love. It's in your life. When you love life and you come from that state, then every moment is a delicious opportunity for you to express God. Life becomes a joyous experience. It's a journey of self-discovery and the mastery of oneself. And in fact, you're never afraid of any opportunities in your life because it's another opportunity for you to learn to love. So, what do I mean by that? Stuff's going on in your life. Stuff happens, right? You have 2 choices. You can either embrace it or you can run and hide under the covers. Well, I'll give you a little hint. Hiding doesn't really help because it always comes back on some level, doesn't it? And I know you've all heard of the cosmic 2x4. Starts out small. He doesn't do anything about it. Before you know it, there is a semi-Mack truck running him over because he has got to get that going on. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying for me. But so what we do, we don't let it get to that cosmic Mack truck, do we? We take it into prayer, we take it into meditation, and we ask for our highest and best to be revealed to us. Now, I was talking to a friend recently. She goes to Unity up there. And she wanted to start a program. So she went up and she talked to the minister about it. And the minister says, well, I'll get back to you. I got to pray on it. And she came to me and she says, can you believe that? She didn't give me an answer right now. She had to pray on it. And I said, well, I think it's a good idea that she prayed on it. Because when you make a decision just based from your little self, that's your ego talking, and sometimes it's not the right decision. But if you take it into prayer and you take that decision from your higher being, we used to call it the big S, then it comes from your God self, and it's always the right decision. So when you live your life like that, everything is always right, and you're living in love. And I don't know about you, but love is the best 4-letter word there is. And you know what? You're already living a God-ordained life. Remember, the universe will not give you anything that you cannot handle. So when you live life to the fullest, knowing that you are centered in love, you just might be surprised what life has in store for you. Which brings me to O. See, O. L-O. Open-minded, open-armed, and open-hearted. When you stay open-minded, things do turn out good, don't they? And we're less irritated and upset about things that happen because we're kind of learning to go with the flow. And here's what Ernest says about this. Ernest, there he is. We need to be open at the top. He said that Science of Mind was never a closed book, but continues to gather spiritual truths from every source and every person's experience. So you see, we're not a closed book. We continue to evolve and grow. And we do that through being open-minded. So, Aristotle, he was an open-minded guy, right? 400 BC, he knew that there was more to life than the physical life. In fact, Aristotle coined the term metaphysics, which means beyond the physical. Or how about Christopher Columbus? He said that the world wasn't flat. I got to do a little slice of here. Do you know that there's an organization that's trying to prove that the world isn't flat? That's weird. Anyway, it's not flat. It's very round. And he set out to prove it. And in 1492, he proved that. So see, there's just two examples. And I'm sure each one of you have a time in your life when you were open-minded and you tried something new and it worked. Imagine that. So to be open-minded, you have to have an open heart. And to have an open heart, you need to know that the only thing constant in this life is change. Right? Change. And you have to be flexible to allow that change in your life. You know, you see those big palm trees outside, the big ones, they're deeply rooted in soil, and they have a nice long trunk, and then they're open at the top, and when the wind blows, they kind of sway and bend with it, see? So I invite us all to become like crazy palm trees and be able to bend and stretch. Because when we live our life from that state of open-mindedness, we don't mind if there's change, because we can accept it with an open heart. Sometimes I go digging and oh, I won't say it, but anyway, sometimes I have a hard time accepting change, but I finally get into that spot where it's always God and it's always good, and we can evolve from it. Which leads me to V. Let's see, how would you do a V? Is that good? No, that's like a U. Well, anyway, that's a V. So our bodies vibrate at a certain frequency, don't they? I mean, this podium's vibrating. We just can't tell, but it's vibrating. And we each have a unique vibration. And I know that every one of you have this experience. When you first meet a person and, hey, Josh, how's it going, man? You're a really great guy. And you walk away going, wow, that was a really nice guy. And then, hey, Heather, how's it going, man? Oh, my God, I don't like her. Y'all had that experience, right? It's the vibration that you're feeling with that person. Because, you know, we have our own vibration. It's like we have a radio signal that we emit. You know, and if you're emitting, your signal is fear and resentment and anger. Those are the kind of people that you're going to get into your life because you're drawing them into you. But the good thing is you can raise your vibration. In fact, I believe that's one of the reasons why we're on this earth plane. And that is for us to evolve and to change. And we evolve by raising our vibration, don't we? And as we evolve, it helps this planet evolve. And I don't know about you, but I think the planet needs a lot of evolution. Going back to Eckhart Tolle, here's what he said about the earth. That it's no accident that this is happening right now, that we are in a critical stage in our evolution, and that this is opening up a lot of souls to the idea of awareness and higher consciousness. We are either going to evolve or die. we've arrived at a critical point with humanity, and if humanity does not embrace this new state of consciousness, the awakened state, then humanity is not going to make it. It's kind of dire, isn't it? I think we're going to make it. No, I know we're going to make it. And here's what Ernest Holmes said. It has been written that the truth shall make us free, provided we know the truth. And we note that evolution of man's consciousness brings with it the acquisition of new power and higher possibilities, because we're always open at the top. So how can we be part of the solution instead of part of the problem? What can we do to raise our vibration? I got some ideas for you. I know you guys, I know you're just like, I know she's got some good ideas here. How about meditation? When you connect with that God self, doesn't it raise your vibration? And you know, you don't have to just sit in the chair and go, go for a walk. You know, I've heard people, they light a candle and look into the flame. There's lots of ways to meditate. So that's a good way. And how about forgiveness? You know, carrying around all those burdens is hard on the body. In fact, it's called disease because we get out of ease with it. So for years and years and years, well, I don't think it's that many years, a long time ago, I became a radical forgiveness coach based on Colin Tipping. And he has a very unique approach to forgiveness. He believes that we draw people and situations into our life to help us heal. And when we do that, when we forgive that person, it does several things. It collapses that story around us. It changes our vibration. Our radio signal changes. We no longer track people. But the important thing is that we evolve. So look at people in your life and go, why is Keith in my life anyway? I'll do a little forgiveness on that. But it really works. I love you, Keith. But it really does. It opens it up. And there's another way. First of all, let me see how many of you guys. Well, there's a few of you. Took Lane's class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. Well, she talked about doing a daily forgiveness practice. And I had heard about it before, but I never really embraced it, and I've really been looking into it, and it's really, really neat. Because what it does is it allows you every day to do a little bit of forgiveness work. You know, do it in the morning or at night, whenever you feel like it. But it's for these little small hurts and resentments and wrongs that pop up during the day. You know, I've heard it said that if you're alive and breathing, you've got somebody or something to forgive. So by doing this daily forgiving practice, it makes it easier for you to forgive. And then you don't have the Mack truck, you don't have the big stuff come, because you kind of are nipping it in the bud. So I've been practicing it, and it's been pretty good, because it really does, it kind of gets you back into your heart. Get you back into your heart. Which brings me to the next one, which is, come on, you guys know this, gratitude, right? So, you know, it comes from the Latin word gratis, which means pleasing or thankful. And I practice gratitude a lot. And actually, it's one of my tools in my spiritual toolbox. You know, when you need something, you dig down in your toolbox, you go, oh, here's what I need, I'll use this. Well, I use gratitude a lot. I'm grateful for the car that pulled out in front of me. Why not? You know, because maybe it stopped me from having a crash. You know, one of the things I really love to do is, before I go to bed, as I go, and what I'm grateful for. And almost always, here's what I do. I'm grateful for my bed, because I really am. Pull up my covers. I'm grateful for my cover. I'm grateful for my pillow. I'm grateful for my sheets. I'm grateful for the person that sewed me the bed. I'm grateful for, you know, so I just keep getting deeper and deeper. And by doing that, I almost get down to a cellular level. So I'm really changing my cells on a cellular level with gratitude. Another thing I like to do is I like to thank God in advance. And actually, in our prayer, that's step 4, is thankfulness. Because we're thanking God in advance for the good that we have already got. So, can you think of any other ways that you can be grateful? I mean, there are lots of ways. But I'm going to shift gears here now. Does anyone know what the acronym SAD stands for?
Seasonal affective disorder.
Oh, there you go. Close. Standard American Diet. So, I'm not gonna judge anybody because I think people see me out there picking through to pick out the good candy, chocolate to eat and stuff. But that's good. It's fun. But food has a vibration. It has a life force. And if you eat a lot of heavy food, I mean, when you eat heavy food, do you not feel, man, I just had a Big Mac, I feel really great. Yeah. But if you eat that salad, you're energized and stuff. So really food has a vibration to it. And the more we think about that vibration, the more connected we can be to our God self. How about spending time in nature? We all went yesterday to watch the manatees. And Randy, there wasn't any manatee, so you didn't miss a thing. But we saw one. We saw there were stuffed manatees and all kinds of manatee posters. So, there was no lack of manatees, just no live ones. But when you got out in nature, go out. On the way to your mailbox, go over to the person next door and look at their flowers and smell them. Or, when you take your dog for your walk, just go all over the place. Enjoy nature. That connects you. In fact, going back to Emerson, he says that nature is spirit reduced to its thinnest. I like that. Nature is spirit reduced to its thinnest. And of course, there's some logical ways. Think highest and best thoughts, right? When we think high and best thoughts, don't you feel good about yourself? I mean, and when you're in a snitch or something and you're all grumpy and stuff, you don't have very good vibration, do you? So that's a good one. Move your body. Go for a walk. Do some yoga. Have a good laugh. So did y'all hear about the Christian lady? She lived next door to an atheist. And every day she would pray to God about something. And he was always like, doesn't she know that there isn't a God? And sometimes he would even go over there and he'd say to her, lady, why are you praying all the time? Don't you know there's no God? She kept on praying. So one day she ran out of groceries. But as usual, she was praying to God. She was explaining the situation and thanking him for what he was going to do. See, she was thanking him in advance. As usual, the atheist heard her and he thought, I'm going to fix her. So he went to the store and he bought a whole bunch of groceries. And he took them and he put them on her porch. He rang the doorbell. Of course, he ran and he hid into the bushes. And she comes out and she sees all this. She starts, oh my God, she starts jumping up and down and, just singing and shouting and stuff. Well, he jumps out of the bushes. He says, crazy lady, God didn't buy you those groceries. I bought those groceries for you. Well, then she starts even more. Yeah. So he finally calmed her down and said, so what's going on? She says, well, I knew that God was going to provide me with groceries, but I didn't know he was going to make the devil pay for it. So laugh. It raises your vibration. Okay, next slide, young lady. Shirley MacLaine, I love her. And here's what she says. All life vibrates with feeling, and the natural state of feeling is love. The state of love is achieved by simply being. Nature is a manifestation of the state of simple beingness. It just is, and that which it is, in its purest sense, is perfect balance. She's a smart lady. So E. It's easy to know that everything good is God. But what about the not so good things? You know, it's been said that sometimes gifts come in shiitake wrapping paper. Because I can't cuss up here, you know. So question for you. Has that anything ever happened in your life and at the time you thought it was really pretty much a chicky deal? You're like, what is going on? But move forward, I don't know, a month, 2 months, whatever, and you look back and you realize that without that, you wouldn't be here right now. See, it was that shitty wrapping paper. It was wrapped up, but it was good. So it's all good. It's all God, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So when we learn to operate from love, it becomes second nature to us. So just remember the possibilities in this, and that everything is love. There is nothing that we cannot do if we come from L